What is going on, everybody? Happy hump day to you. Welcome to the Loose But Complete podcast. I am your host, LaserPants, also known as Ryan. Got a very cool show for you today. I cannot do it alone. I got to bring in my little buddy right here, this little guy. What's going on, Jeremy?
What is happening, Ryan? What's going on?
Busy week. Lots of packages getting left on the front porch.
Oh, really?
It's been a little. I'm kind of like, I've strategically placed stuff off camera, but I'm like drowning in cardboard boxes right now.
do you have to do what's known as the clean sweep, right? When you know you've got a lot of stuff coming and you got to get it off the porch before Mrs. LaserPants gets home.
Well, she usually works from home. So.
Oh, so you can't even avoid
I'm just
it,
like,
right?
Fingers crossed they didn't ring the doorbell, just left it there, and
I usually come home during my lunch break and just check, right? See if I need to get the old Operation Clean Sweep done, get everything down to the basement, right? To the Fortress of Smallitude here. So that Mrs. Authority figure doesn't see exactly how down this hole that I am, right?
That's a basement? I thought it was like a mother-in-law. Like above the garage or something.
No. I'm in the basement.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
The Fortress of Smallitude.
Cool. Well, there's a lot of Kickstarters right now. Right? A lot of action figure Kickstarters.
Mm-hmm.
The one I'm most looking forward to right now is Savage Crucible. So this is a bit of a Savage Crucible week on the 3POA channel. We're starting off with a couple of people today that have worked on the line, have a lot of behind the scenes info, very talented people. You may be following them on Instagram, as I found out once Jeremy decided to have them on. I was like, oh, I'm following this person already. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that is the extremely talented Nikki Nicole Customs. Nikki, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me on. Hi, everyone.
Absolutely.
I think we need to have an applause track, right?
Oh, want that?
Hey, yeah.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. How about this one?
That's usually the sound I hear when I walk into a room.
Yeah,
Just
cool.
kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's better than a solo tuba, like I hear. Yeah. So.
No, bom, 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 bom.
We are also joined by someone who is also working on the Savage Crucible line, as well as other lines that we will get to. And that is Sean Strupp. Welcome to the show, Sean.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Going good, man. I got a little bit of beard envy right now, I got to be honest. That thing is glorious.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so everybody that we have on the show here tonight, I've actually gotten the opportunity to meet in real life a couple of times, traveling across the country with Jason and preaching the good word of AWOC to the people out there. So I think the first time we all met was at Toylanta like a year ago. Almost exactly, I think, right?
Yeah, it's been exactly a year. Yeah.
Yeah, they took all of us, the fantasy nerds and furries, and put us in a back room together. So,
furry convention, are you going?
hey, man, look, we had a bunch of AWOC stuff on the table, man. But yeah, it was fun. So I got the opportunity to stare at those prototypes from Savage Crucible for 2 days. So. Kind of knew what I was getting into at that point and really excited about the line. So, looking forward to the discussion. So I guess what we can do right now is kind of get into a little bit of your individual backstories, right? How you got to this point right now where you're making contributions to this new and very exciting toy line. So, Nikki, if you want to start with your origin story.
Yeah. Let's see. I have an art and science background, and I didn't really get into collecting as an adult until probably about 2012, 2013-ish. Started just going down that nostalgia path with some TMNT and some things that I collected with my brother when we were kids. When I was a kid, I was a big G.I. Joe fan with my brother. That was like our main collection. So that's a huge point of nostalgia for me now in my collection. But yeah, after I started collecting, came across the Four Horsemen's work, and I was a big fan of their stuff. Their first Kickstarter for Mythic Legions was going on, and I jumped in into the line right after that. And shortly thereafter, I started customizing and painting, and that was something that I had tried a couple times when I was really like quite a bit younger, and it just kind of took off from there. And I've just been painting a lot, customizing a lot, doing a lot of collecting and that kind of thing, and started even making tutorial videos and things like that, just to encourage other people to get into it, because I've been having so much fun with it.
That's
Cool.
awesome. Looking at the paints you have behind you, what's your preferred brand? Are you a Citadel person, or like what's your preference?
Yeah, this is like a fraction of my paint collection, which takes up a huge closet that's in this room. But I started off mainly with Vallejo, and over time it's transitioned to a lot of different things. So I still have some Vallejo paints. I've gotten into Citadel and some Green Stuff World and some scale color as well. And I just ordered a bunch of new metallics from a new company that I am excited to get. It's from a European company, and I can't remember the name right now.
Okay. Well, you know what? Looking at the show notes, we completely skipped over something. So while we're on the topic of lines that we're into, right? Lines that we're into, who wants to talk pickups, right?
Well, we also appear to be having an issue with Sean. Sean, I don't know if you should exit the stream and then come back because you're frozen and we can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to fix that just now. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes just leaving and coming back will fix it.
I just thought he was very stoic. I'm weird.
So yeah, while Sean's getting that figured out, Ryan, if you want to start off with your.
You want me to start?
pickups?
I mean, I think we should let our guest start if she
Um,
has anything.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I mean, I can start. It's fine.
Well, you've
Ready,
already
you jumping
interrupted,
in.
right? So let's go ahead and let Nikki jump in.
So these guys just arrived this week. I got about 4 figures from the first wave, AWOC. I saw the prototypes for these for the very first time last year at Toylanta. I had the 4-inch figures prior to that. Yay, Sean's back. But being able to see the Primal series, the size they are, and knowing that they would fit right in with my Mythic Legions collection was awesome. And in hand, they are awesome. I'm really, really happy with them. And then I also I'm behind the curve a little bit on these, but the Valaverse females, which I am over the moon with these. I think these are some of the most beautiful female figures out there, period.
Awesome.
Very high praise. Very high praise.
Yeah, nice. How about you, Sean? What'd you get this week? Anything new?
Well, just now I opened up a package. I got the Mezco Barbarian kit. And then
cool.
Earlier today, I actually got the Death Adder. So pretty stoked on these. Got some plans. And then I also got my AWOC figures, and I left them upstairs. So Aubrey ran to go get them, but it's all right. I got Pale and I got Kali. Oh, here they are. I put I already put one of our coats on Pale. I don't know if everything's off.
Oh, that looks cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, those are my main pickups this week.
I don't know about you, but when I get a new Mezco, it's like I need to have time to like open it, set everything out. It's almost like a ritual. I like candles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Well, it's there's so much to an unboxing, right? Or so much to opening up a Mezco figure. It's almost like you need like a Saturday afternoon, schedule a time block for it.
I could gingerly take off the poly bag and fold it neatly.
Right. Take it in.
Right.
Pop it open. Get a whiff. Right. Because sometimes you've been waiting 3 years for one of those figures.
Apparently, yes.
Yep. More.
So you don't want to just tear into it too quick.
Yep.
What'd
you get, Jeremy?
Okay.
You want me?
I'll go.
I go next.
I'll go.
You go first. I go first.
Yeah, no, I think it's me. I'll do it. So I did get one new thing and then two older things. Right. The one new thing. Look, Toddy Mac is he's got me. He's got me right now. I don't know why, but anyway, the Riddler from the Arkham game series went up for order on the McFarlane store, and I had to get it. I've got everything from the Arkham series so far. Like I've said before, I think that the Arkham video game is probably, as far as video game iterations are concerned, is my favorite iteration of Batman in those characters. So, and even though Riddler wasn't really in it, right, he was just a lot of fun along the way, figuring out all of his puzzles and stuff. So really glad to have that. Now I picked up a Marvel Legend that's been around for a long time. There was a hole in my collection and I decided that it needed to be filled, right? So I picked up the Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer, which I am very happy with. I found a seller that wasn't trying to rake me over the coals, right? I felt it was a justifiable price on the secondary market, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger on this guy. So really happy about him.
They've done 2 Silver Surfers since that one, and that's still the best one.
Oh yeah, well, there was
the
the darker one who was almost like a tungsten color.
Yeah, the Fallen. Yeah,
right, and he came with like the purple effects. This one came with the yellow effects. So anyway, fantastic figure. And then just because Jason Bienvenu, he got me on this line, and I really hate him for it. But the new Eternia Masterverse stuff, I got the Man at Arms from that line. Like I said, this has been out for a while. I got this at a really discounted price, but he looks great. He's a really good modern day representation of the old figure. So glad to have him on the shelf. And that's
are you a passionate Motu collector, or are you just kind of
so yeah?
Like how involved with that community are you? How familiar are you with the Motu collecting community?
Far as the community is, I stay as far the fuck away from them as I possibly can, because as far as like, I know the word toxicity within a community gets kind of thrown around a little willy-nilly, and kind of when you use a word too often, it kind of waters down what the actual meaning is. But
right,
there is a real toxicity within that fucking fandom. So anyway,
the reason I ask is because I've said on this show many times and 3POA that He-Man sucks.
Right.
And now later this year, I'm going into the belly of the beast, PowerCon. So should I be worried? Should I be,
No. Look, everybody at cons is really cool. It's really the anonymity that the internet provides you, where they start. Gotcha. I mean, just take his tank, right? And then like it's like that, but with wizards and robots and shit, right?
Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's what you're getting into. But that's it for me.
Yeah. So I feel like we're just kind of showing all the same stuff, but I also got my Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. And, they work really well. These are, like, really fun action figures. They're really well made, and I'm really digging them. So I got these 2. I haven't opened the other 2 yet. I got the blue guy and then the blue and gold guy, Kali and the Horrid. Haven't opened them yet, but they look cool. Then I also got a Mezco Death Adder, which I have not opened yet, and a Mezco Conan Barbarian set, which I have not opened. Sean, did you get multiple Conans, or do you just have the one?
I have the original one, and then I got the reissue, the Conan the Destroyer one. So
yeah, me too. Yeah. But there's 2 heads in this, so it's like, man, I need like 2 more Conan bodies or something to put these on.
Yeah, I thought about it for sure.
It's almost like
super expensive on the secondary market. I should have just ordered 2. Now this came in. This was one of those things on the porch when I got home. Not a big wrestling fan, right? But I love Jackass.
Oh,
and I got the Johnny Knoxville. I didn't know he wrestled.
Yeah, he made an appearance not that long ago.
I figured it was recent because he's got his gray hair.
Yeah.
The last couple of years.
It was recently. Yeah, it was recently. Steve-O actually, like, probably 10 years ago, maybe longer than that, got in the ring and just got destroyed in there. I mean,
was he sober yet, or this?
No. This was during the Wild Man Steve-O days. When he was still doped up. Is that? I'm sorry. I was swearing like crazy earlier. I didn't see you had a younger person there. I'll modify my language.
No,
my apologies.
She's a teenager. Sorry.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, he was got smashed in there. It was a lot of fun to watch.
All right. Anyway, you can see they reused regular wrestling hands because they are massive. They look like catcher's mitts
Right.
on him, on his skinnier frame. But I mean, like I said, I don't really watch wrestling. I haven't since the Attitude Era, but I love Jackass, so I got that. Have you guys heard of the Yen Wukong set? This yeah, see, Sean knows what I'm talking about. I got that in. And it's got this
That's
monkey
probably
man.
my favorite figure.
It is so damn cool.
Very
cool.
Soft goods, really well done. And it came in a 3-pack with 2 other dudes, like these 2 other samurai guys. And they each have like a superpower. So one has like ice powers. He has like an ice head and ice effects, and one guy has like a fire head with fire effects. I don't know the backstory with this. I know it came with the comic, which I have not cracked open yet. But these are awesome figures, and they're going to fit in nicely with my other Mezco ninjas and samurai.
Ryan, question.
Yes.
Are you buying monkey men that are not Animal Warriors of the Kingdom?
I am. I mean, look at this guy.
Wow.
Look at
Okay.
that face.
Well. Wow. Wow.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell Jason you're cheating on him, man.
Okay. I mean, okay.
You know.
I won't be the first.
No, but those are awesome, though, man. I first time ever hearing those words put together. I don't know what the name of them were. Would you say?
Sean could probably tell us more. It's some kind of like third-party Chinese company. They made some new characters. Oh, I got them on vctoysbox.com. They kind of specialize in that third-party stuff. They make really, really nice figures, man. Like I put these up against the Mezco any day. You know, as far as soft goods and articulation and everything.
That's pretty high praise. What's the price point getting into those?
This 3-pack, I bought it so long ago. I think it was like 200.
Yeah, I think they're like $80 each or something like that. So
Something like, yeah.
like
yeah,
individually,
like
I got them individually. So
okay. Yeah,
I don't have the fire guy. Or no, I don't have the samurai.
So this is the set right here, the box, and it's all in Chinese. I can't read any of it.
That's really cool, though, man.
Yaomo International Edition. Yeah. So yeah, on the back it's all Chinese writing. But yeah, it's cool. I dug it. And that is about it. That's what I brought in.
Okay, awesome. Hey, great pickups, everybody except for Ryan. You know, congratulations on your purchases. Everybody did well. So, I think we left off. We were talking, Nikki, your origin story, how you kind of got into the hobby, right? Which now transitioned to you getting into the industry, so to speak. Now, right? Because you do have some paint masters for a very, very exciting line that's coming up. So, Sean, take us through the history of Strupp family crafts and where it started with your cloth goods stuff, and then the current iteration of what you guys are up to now.
Yeah, so I'm not the artist at all. I'm the ideas guy, I guess. And then I do the custom figures that those clothes eventually go on. So my wife is the seamstress, and she's been making Halloween costumes for my kids for years now. So when I first got into collecting, I was like, hey, this Spawn cape's kind of weak. I got the McFarlane Spawn from Mortal Kombat. And so I was like, you think you can make this cape? And so she did, and it was amazing. Like it was, fully wired, tattered, and as soon as I posted that, it kind of got way more attention than I thought. And so people started suggesting that or that she start selling them. And so long story short, she started to slowly offer some pieces until we realized, like, okay, this is getting like more than we can handle with just commission after commission. We should probably mass produce some things instead of having to restart every time with a single piece. So that's when we opened up our own website and started selling mass produced soft goods. When I say mass produced, it's like we usually sold like 20 at a time. It's not like she's a factory or anything, just knocking out soft goods. But
right. I'm imagining like a room with like 30 people in there, all with like,
yeah,
machine, like just making these little tiny capes and stuff.
So
Yeah,
are
we
we
actually,
talking like oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it. We actually converted our homeschool room. So like, she homeschools also. So our homeschool room became her like little sewing room. So there's like school stuff everywhere, and then soft goods stuff everywhere. So we are definitely not a professional factory. But then she taught my daughter how to sew, which is she's here, hiding in the corner. Um, Taught her how to sew, and she's the one that actually created the Conan cloak that got really popular for the Mezco Conan. And so yeah, she became a full member of the team, and her mom just make soft goods. What's
And
that?
she's been painting too, right?
What's that?
She's been painting too, is right?
Yeah, and my son as well. Yeah, so they
Awesome.
all got into customizing, painting. Yeah, it's kind of like a whole family hobby. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, utilizing child labor is always a really good idea. just from a
Yeah.
production cost standpoint, it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hats off
Yep.
to you, sir.
Hey, Sean, so do you guys do like a lot of like wired capes, Jedi robes, like a little bit of everything, or?
Yeah, so we've done we did Jedi stuff like custom commissions, but we didn't mass produce our own designs or anything, just whatever people were asking for. We mostly stuck to Mythic Legions and Mezco pieces. We've done like alternate sets for Mezcos, like obviously the Conan cape, and then Vapor clothing, like 90s overalls and stuff.
Cool.
And then yeah, mostly fantasy based soft goods for Mythic Legions or whatever.
Yeah,
Nice.
Hey Ryan, do you want to pull up that picture that the one for Conan?
Yeah. Which one is it?
The one it's got the Conan body with the cloak on it that I sent you.
You didn't send that to me.
I
I don't have it.
You know what? You're right. I didn't. Hang on. Let me send this to you right now so everybody can see
All right.
what we're talking about here. Okay. It's in your inbox.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Sorry about that.
On the fly.
Okay, we'll do it live.
And here we go.
Sweet.
That
Yeah,
is
So
really cool.
that's what my daughter produced. My wife was actually in California visiting some family, and so I really wanted my wife to make that cloak. And since she was gone, I asked Aubrey if she thought she can make something, and I thought it'd just be like a cool temporary cloak, but she came out of the room with that, and I was like blown away. So we just stuck with her design, and we sell out every single time we offer that.
So
And she's
I
actually,
mean, I can see why. I can see why. It's awesome.
yeah, she's actually working on a limited run of those now. So this year we've had to close down the shop just because we've got their 15th birthday, their quinceañera, which is like a year-long planning process coming up. So we shut down the shop temporarily, but we are offering little sales here and there. So she's working on a limited run of this right now.
so this
So we should have that soon.
did she develop this before the second one came out?
Yeah. So this was the first issue of the Conan. Yeah.
So Mezco totally ripped you off.
I've got a ton of when Mezco dropped those pictures of the other one they were making, people messaged us left and right saying, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they did this." I mean, I'm sure they have no clue who we are, but it's nice to think it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, based on this picture, yours looks a lot better, and it's wired.
Yeah.
So
It is, yeah.
Hey, so our friend Ted Darklaw over at HelloDopeToys.com, he wants to know, Sean, can we order items directly from you?
Yeah, so on our Instagram or Facebook page, you can just message us. But we'll do commissions every once in a while, or we'll also drop sales, like direct sales there instead of going through the website. We don't have, I don't think we have enough quantity to really do a website with the website doing auto shipping anymore. So we'll have like limited runs, and then we'll post it on our Instagram, and then it'll be first come, first serve from there. So.
Awesome.
It's Strupp Family Crafts on Instagram and on Facebook.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about Toylanta last year. Now we were all sitting in the room together with Rob Post. Did you two know at the time that you were going to be doing work for that line then?
No, not at all.
No?
So it was super exciting. I was, fangirling out on the line, and just like I've said to some other people, like a little bit of different flavor of fantasy figures. So it was kind of surreal to then at a later date have the opportunity to work on the line a bit with the paint master work.
Okay, awesome. Does that go for you as well, Sean?
Yeah, so we did know because of this process of the soft goods. But yeah, we definitely kept it hush hush and kind of worked on it on the side. But we hadn't heard anything in a while. Because Rob, did so much work ahead of time.
Right.
Leading up to that. So, and then shortly after that, that's when we actually got the prototypes to start working the soft goods. So,
yeah, that's what I keep trying to tell people. I talk to a lot of people who are a little bit, I wouldn't say hesitant to get into Savage Crucible because they're so accustomed to how the Kickstarter toy process works. And I keep telling people, I'm like, hey, this is a lot further along than you might think, man. Like, he was working in silence for a long time. Yeah, it's not going to be like a 2-year wait or anything, from the time that you make your purchase to when you're getting product. I don't think anyway.
Right. Yeah. The goal is, first of all, the line is 2-3 years in development already.
Right.
And he put up a lot of his own money to get a head start on the tooling process. So the first wave is the Kickstarter set up for the first 3 waves, and the waves are structured to get these figures into customers' hands as quickly as possible. So the first wave is scheduled, or estimated, I should say, ETA of November 2023 for first wave, and the different waves have different delivery times.
That's fast. That as far as like for the Kickstarter, indie boutique toy model, right? That's fast. So hats off to Mr. Post for that.
Incredibly fast.
Nikki, I wanted to talk to you about your breakout session at LegionsCon, right? So a lot of people know you in the community from your custom paints that you do sell at the cons, and looking at what you have to offer at the beginning of the con versus Sunday when everything's winding down, I'd say your products are pretty popular.
It's a good show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So can you take us through the process of did Jeremy approach you about doing a breakout session there and having your own little thing, or how did that work out?
Yeah, that was an idea that I think was floated at last year's LegionsCon, and kind of finally came into fruition for this year. And so he had organized a whole slew of different breakout rooms scheduled throughout the con on Saturdays and Sundays. And so my breakout session, usually when I go to a con, I mainly bring full custom figures and then a bunch of painted parts or painted heads for people to make their own customs with. Mm-hmm. So I think I brought to that con like 140 different heads to sell and like a dozen or more full custom figures. It was about a year's worth of work for me. So it was a lot. But my breakout session, I have done some tutorial videos on my Instagram for, trying to get people into beginning painting and that kind of thing. And so my breakout session was focused on that. And the specific technique that I wanted to teach was how to paint like undead or bone for accessories, or like a skull head. So I had these skull heads from actionfigurecustoms.com that I was painting. We gave some away and just kind of demoed the methods with that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if your breakout session was in the same room that Jason and I did ours, because we did a live play testing of the AWOC game that's coming up for pre-order.
Oh, sweet!
Pretty soon. So we had
a couple of.
No, it's fine. But we had a couple people from the audience come up and roll the dice and play the game and everything, so it was fun. Nice. I don't know if you're in the same room that we were in, but for some reason it was like 115 degrees in there. And it was, what was that, November in New Jersey? We didn't think it would get that hot, but yeah, it was kind of wild.
That must have been just great smelling at a convention like that, huh?
Oh yeah, because I mean, the hygiene standards at a con are already impeccable, yeah. Right? They're already fantastic. So,
Oh man,
you get some sweaty nerds in there. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The con was great.
We should get to some of these super chats we got piling up here. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. The Teflon, thank you, sir. I can finally catch the show live. Appreciate you, man. Glad you can make it. Articulated Ninja Reviews. What's up, Ninja? He says, what's up, everyone? Hit that like I just did. Nice. Yes, listen to Ninja. Robert Diaz. Robert Diaz, thank you. Stop with all this monkey business.
Hey. Whoa.
It's not going to stop.
Yeah, it can't stop. Won't stop.
No.
There's nothing but monkeys, primates, and all kinds of different animals in the future, right?
Yeah, there was no kitties in wave 1. That's wave 2, right?
There's some kitties, I think.
Okay. I haven't got them yet.
There was Tiberius was in there. Anatreyu. Those are both cats. And one of the figures that I had a hand as far as the design and naming the character as well. The Feralist Stalker is coming with the Primal Battle Wave. So
cool.
That's one of the first ones that I had a direct hand in.
All right, we got one from Andrew M. What's up, Andrew? He says, "Sup, Ryan talks too much. Let's talk Savage Crucible and Kickstarters already. I am a backer, by the way."
Awesome.
I barely talked, Andrew. How dare you?
He's been quiet like this whole time. Even that's too much for him.
Cato's collection. What's up, Cato? He says, howdy,
hey,
folks. And then we got one from our buddy TJ, all the way from India. Aloha all. Yo, Joe, Action Force.
You say Indiana? That's not that far.
India.
Oh, India. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's considerably further.
Yes.
Tomorrow night, Cato is going live on the official Animal Wars of the Kingdom podcast with Mr. Jason Bienvenu to talk about shipping updates and some other stuff too. So make sure you catch that.
Do you hear that? I'm getting a signal.
Yeah, we're getting something from the corporate office. Yeah, what is that?
We got to go over to our news desk with Sam Newsman.
Broadcasting live for Loose But Complete on Wednesday, March 15th in the year 2023. Wildlife rescuers were recently called to a home in Lincolnshire, England to help save a bird. Residents reported that the bird sounds were coming from inside the wall. However, the mystery for the rescue team was the fact that there was no entry point for the bird to find its way into. As the rescue team was about to arrive, the residents called back to let them know that the bird had been saved. When the wildlife experts asked what kind of bird it was and how it was freed from inside the wall, the homeowner stated it was an owl that was under the couch, which was just their child's battery-operated stuffed animal. The couple apologized for not knowing sooner, but said they had a little too much to drink. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman.
Thank you, Sam.
Yep. Breaking news from our reporter in the field, Sam Newsman. Right. Many people claim that there are media puppets out there, but Sam is a legit media puppet. Okay.
He is.
What do you think about that story, Ryan? A couple people getting a little too sauced and wind up mistaking a child's bird toy for the real thing.
I mean, I can't act like it's never happened to me. So.
Yeah. I mean, come on, it just sounds like a normal Tuesday at my house, so it's fine, whatever.
No big deal.
Okay.
It wasn't newsworthy.
Let's see, Northern Nomad. We just got another super chat in.
I'll bring that up. Thank you, Northern Nomad. Ryan, play video clip of Asian guy saying emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Now listen, I don't have a video clip of Stephen He, just the voice. But thank you, Northern Nomad.
All right, so we're about 35 minutes into the stream. I guess we should actually talk about the topic at hand here, right? We should get into Savage Crucible, right? Everybody's individual contributions to what I've said is, a very highly anticipated and exciting new toy line. So, Nikki, we'll start with you, Ryan. If you want to pull up one of those Paint Masters.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. So as Jeremy mentioned before, William Robert Post is the owner of Savage Crucible, and he's brought together a whole group of artists, a whole group of sculptors, a whole group of painters. So I am one of 4 painters for the line. And this is one of the paint masters I worked on. This is from Wave 3. There's several Piranoid characters, the Fishmen, and there's also the Harbinger of the Abyss, which is a mind flayer type character who plays a big role in the graphic novel. So this was my favorite figure to work on, my favorite wave. Super into these Fishmen. I just love it. It harkens back to D&D for me. So big fan of this. And I can't wait to actually get this figure in hand.
Right.
The paintwork you did on his gills and on the inside of his mouth is unreal. Like, it looks like it's glowing.
Thank you. Yeah,
that is amazing.
It's not glow in the dark or anything, but just the colors that I chose just have like a really cool light bouncing effect. And I truly hope that this can be reproduced at the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be awesome, because if they do look like this, the production samples, if they wind up looking like this, that's going to be a crazy cool figure to have on the shelf. So let me ask you about the process of this. Did Rob just send you a prototype body and was like, hey, do your thing? Or did you get guidance from him as far as like the color palette is concerned, or some of the choices that you made as far as painting this figure? Does that have something to do with how they are in the graphic novel? Like, how did all that come down?
Yeah, so these particular characters are not written into the graphic novels quite yet as far as colors. So Rob has, as per usual, takes a very unusual approach to things. So instead of having all the color palettes laid out, he really gave the artists a lot of creative freedom, not only the sculptors, but the painters as well. And so we went through this whole development process where a few of us would get the same character and we'd paint it the way that we'd want it. And then we took a look at it at the end, and decisions were made of, we're going to go with so-and-so's, we're going to go with the skin on this one and the armor from this artist. So it just makes for some really cool results, and just really fosters a lot of creativity.
So it was actually almost a competitive process. Like, you were competing against other painters to get yours, to get yours picked. Is that correct?
Yeah, you could say that, but I think everybody just really wanted the best results for the line, so it didn't feel too much like a competition.
Okay. That's really cool. Yeah, I'm really excited for these.
Yeah, so that is, actually have some of these paint masters here.
Oh, cool.
That I can show as well. That is Nin Villamere, and Wave 1 is all reptilians or lizard men. And there's different character packs that come with different heads and armor that's all swappable amongst all of the figures. And so here's, actually have Nin's alternate head right here. So this is a prototype, so I kind of have to hold it on.
Right.
Let me get my hand out of the way there. Hang on a second. There we go. So this is one of the alternate heads from the character packs. And this is a paint master where we are going with the color palette from this figure. So the prototype that I have in my hands right now, that gray skin tone with the pattern. And we're going to go with the armor color from the lead painter, Alex Wu, which is kind of like an orangey purple armor. And so for the most accurate representation of what colors are going to be final, just look at the color renders that are spelled out in the Kickstarter.
Cool.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
The jaws on all these are, most of these pictures are articulated, so you can pose them, the mouth open, the mouth closed. And keep in mind, these are prototypes, so I can't, pose them in crazy positions yet because the line has not been made yet. So we do have a few articulated check models that D Amazing had and was able to pose them for photos and things like that, but these are not the articulated models.
It's like it sucks because like we had a bunch of those from AWOC at LegionsCon as well, and they were just articulated enough to where you can start to play with them. But if you push them a little too far, right, you may wind up breaking something. So it was a lot of fun, but it was a little frustrating at the same time.
Yeah.
Can you take us through the process of how you get that metallic effect right on the armor? Right, is that how much of that's the paint and how much of that is your years of practice? Right.
So there is a technique called of painting called non-metallic metal that's often used in like a 2D painting or especially with miniature figures. That can be done on a model of this size, but that is not something that I do because of the size of the figure. You don't really need to because it's already catching the light in the way that a real life suit of armor would catch the light. So these are just actually metallic colors that I applied, and then some level of shading can be applied as well to give it more of a, just kind of punch up the lighting effect for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive work.
Yeah, and this is also a character from Wave 1. This is Como. So this actually is just, this paint master is actually just a quick sketch that I did. So I still need to paint the paint master for this particular figure as like the final version. But Tim Peake, he is another painter for the line. He did the armor, and it's like a magma style armor. And we haven't released the bios for these characters yet, but the magma armor definitely plays into his story. So he will have like a lava looking armor with this skin tone and the blue pattern. And this is actually a hybrid human and lizard. We're calling the lizardmen Lemurians. So he's a hybrid human and Lemurian character.
I was gonna say, yeah, he doesn't look like the rest of them. He has some more kind of, you know, I guess I was gonna say human features, but that's why, I guess. So
yeah, the painters kind of all conferred ahead of time, and we thought that it would be cool since he's a hybrid to give him really human looking eyes. So we kind of blended the background color of the eye. It's not white, it's more of like an amber color, which would be kind of the lizard influence. And then the pupil and everything to be more human-like.
Okay. So okay, let me ask a personal question. I don't want to turn this into a TED Talk, right? But like, what's your preferred method for doing eyes? Because I am absolutely horrible at it. It looks terrible.
Yeah, eyes are tough. It's a constant work in progress for me. I've definitely not totally mastered the technique. So it's a constant area of striving for me. I usually I prime things a little bit different than a lot of people do. A lot of people prime in black. I usually prime in very white colors, which leaves the eye already white. And then I go in with my colors. You have to have really good brushes, and it's all about a lot of the art of it is just getting the pupils aimed correctly. So I would recommend people just spend a lot of time observing animals and people and how the eyeball then the pupil sit in the eye. So you can see like how large to make them and all that.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem is getting the eyes directed or oriented in the same way, because they wind up looking like a gecko, like one of them's, you know what I mean? Like they're going like different directions there. But yeah, outstanding work. Did you do anything for the slates as well?
So the slates have not been made yet. The slate level figures are $15, and they are molded in a single color plastic. They have paint apps on the eyes and mouth. So we are not going to have paint masters of those since they're a single color plastic.
Gotcha.
The Savage level figures are $25 figures with full paint apps and just fewer accessories. And we do have paint masters of those. I personally did not work on any of the Savage level figures. I only worked on named characters. And then there's the named characters, which are $38 figures.
Yeah. I would, like I said, I had the pleasure of staring at those prototypes for an entire weekend at Toylanta, and then kind of seeing the controversy and the mystery that was surrounding that decoder coin. People were sharing images of it and stuff. So, I was really excited about this already. So as soon as the Kickstarter went up, I was day one, all in. And then when Wave 3 got unlocked, I had to amend my contribution for that. And then I wound up getting the graphic novel and, of course, the decoder, because I need it. So yeah, it's April 1st is gonna hurt. April 1st is gonna hurt. That's all I can say.
I hear you.
So Nikki, this is this really wraps up your individual contributions to what's available at Kickstarter right now.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Um,
I've gotten a lot of messages from people with the impression that this is my line. It is definitely not my line.
Right.
The owner is William Robert Post. He is also the owner of myactionfigurecustoms.com. And there are several artists that are working on the line.
Awesome. Are you at liberty to talk about maybe some future things coming up that you may have a hand in?
Ooh, still decisions are still being made. I will say that the dwarf that appeared in one of D Amazing's reviews is definitely going to be in wave 4. Again, the Kickstarter is only for waves 1 through 3. So wave 4 will come after the Kickstarter and at a later date, but we will definitely be having dwarves introduced in wave 4, and there are big plans for dwarves beyond that.
Okay.
Awesome.
That one that D Amazing had that he did the review on, was that your work there?
It was not. That was
Okay.
Alex Wu.
Okay. All right. Hey, like I love dwarves, right? I think they're awesome. If I could actually, Sean, if you want to just braid your beard up a little bit, man, do some stuff in there.
Only Brendan knows how to braid.
So all right, so Sean, let's
Well, hold on. We do have a few super chats we can get to real quick,
Oh,
and then
by
we'll
all
get
means.
into Sean's area of expertise. We got another one from Cato. Thank you, Cato. I just realized that Sean Strupp won the AWOC podcast giveaway. Rigged. Oh, nice. You won a Kali.
Yep, I did. Which I didn't have, so this is perfect.
It did work out.
Thank you, Cato. We got one from Scott Hughes. Thank you, Scott. Will Sean and Nikki be at Toylanda next weekend?
I will not be doing any in-person cons this year. Have some health issues going on with my dad, so I have to save up all my vacation time off to go visit him. So none this year, but hopefully next year.
Same here. We're not doing any cons this year either. With that quinceañera happening this year, that's pretty much taken all of our focus. So definitely plan next year, though.
All right. We got one from Renato. Thank you, Renato. Much love to you all. I am pumped for this Savage line, all in, especially with all the wonderful talent behind it. The work you all do is amazing.
Thank you very much.
Couldn't agree more, Mr. Tornado. Couldn't agree more.
And then we did get a comment from JG, and he would like to know, can Nikki please confirm or deny that the armored arm leg sections are sculpted limbs as opposed to removable accessories?
Right. So if you get a character with bracers, for example, the bracer is the forearm. So that being said, it's not slip over. It is the forearm, but all of the parts are designed to be swappable and interchangeable. And so those are going to be interchangeable with bare forearms and things like that. So if you look at the stretch goals that are going on right now, those are all going to be items that are, if we hit that level, are all going to be items that are included with all the characters for free, no additional charging or money involved with that. So a lot of those stretch goals are bare forearms for some of the characters.
That's really cool too.
Really odd question. Bipedal horse from Random Stuff Garage? I don't know.
I think someone's already done a bipedal horse.
Okay. And then, of course, K-Dog Broadcasting. Best wishes for your dad, Nikki. And,
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I echo those wishes. So,
what mythical creature is a bipedal horse?
4 Horsemen did a like an undead bipedal horse character.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
So Sean, let's get into your contributions here, right? We talked about what kind of how you got started in the cloth goods area to this point now, where you are making contributions in the industry now, right? For a new and upcoming toy line. So, Ryan, you got the first of those shots.
Got it.
For Jaeger.
Here it is. It's right here.
Adds so much to the character.
Yeah. So obviously cloth goods, soft goods, accessories, kind of they really make a figure stand out. So what was the whole process like as far as Rob approaching you and wanting your work on his line?
Yeah, so we had just gotten at that time we were getting a ton of commissions in. It was kind of like the height of our popularity, I should say, and he had called me and asked a little bit about our process and what we do, and then which led into him mentioning Savage Crucible and his plans for that. Like I said, he's done so much work way ahead of time. Everything's been planned far in advance, and so it was just a discussion at that point. Obviously, we weren't going to disclose anything to the public, but he had showed us Jaeger, and that was the first one that he wanted us to work on. But none of us have done this soft goods prototyping thing. Rob's new to it. We're new to it, obviously, and so there was a lot of things that we needed to learn. And so post Toylanta, after they revealed everything, we got this prototype in the mail of Jaeger, and like Nikki, she had how she has to hold it together. Jaeger's no exception, and so it made creating soft goods for him pretty difficult because like he was falling apart every time you'd manipulate him. So trying to figure out ways to size the cloak and everything was pretty difficult. But originally we were supposed to just make it as simple as possible because we didn't know what the factory was capable of replicating. We didn't know if they were able to get the same type of material. So we learned a lot in that process. So this is the first stage of the process, and we really needed to figure out a way to make the soft goods work with this amount of accessories, because there's multiple shoulder pads, there's his bandolier, you can't see it in this picture, but there's a sheath that goes across his back that holds his sword. So it was really difficult to figure out how it was going to work, but after tons of trial and error, Brenda was able to come up with this design to where you can kind of have it in multiple settings, where it can be like a half cloak over the shoulder, and then there's some other pictures here where it shows it in different forms, and this was without having to make any holes in the soft goods themselves. That was one thing that we wanted to try to accomplish, is not have those holes at the top where the armor would pin into. We wanted it to work around the armor pieces instead of having holes in your soft goods. So
you had to prototype a soft goods piece for a figure that's falling apart, that has multiple layers of armor and accessories that are going to go over the top of it already, right? I'm sure that those pauldrons don't look like they were fun to work with.
No.
Yeah, it looks like those would present a pretty big challenge. Is that correct?
Yeah, and by the way, this is Brenda. She's the artist. She was cooking earlier. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, she can answer the questions much better than I can.
No, you did a good job answering. That was good. I mean, you were there for most of the process.
Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely difficult. I could hear her many expletives coming from the
room. So what's the process, right? Are you using are you just hand sewing these things, or using machine? Like what goes into this?
We did this so that there wouldn't be any hand sewing at all.
Okay, got it.
Only because it just makes the time, it just kind of elongates the time that a piece needs to be,
And that goes into not knowing what the factory was capable of,
right,
as well.
Right.
So we wanted to make it as simple as possible, very simple stitches.
Literally wrote everything that I did from beginning to end, and I was able to fit it all with pictures in 3 pages because I wasn't sure what all Rob was going to want like in it. So I just made it all as detailed as possible. I had no hand stitching at all. It was all done with the machine. But it was a task. I think there was a point where I said, do you have another figure about the same size that I can use that isn't going to just flop on me like when I try to put this on? And we did have some figures that we used that were about the same size that we could use that wouldn't just, the head wouldn't just fall off and the pauldrons wouldn't just fall off when we put it on, just to see if it would work. And that's when at that point, when I was able to make it work with other figures, I said, okay, I think this is a good one right here. And so we went with that, and turns out that I just made it a lot harder on myself trying to make it simple, because Rob came back, he's like, no, they can duplicate anything that you can make. So if it has to be, you know, a little bit more there. If there has to be more work done here or there for it to work, and it's easier for you to do that, just do it.
Yeah, that was a big lesson learned because
was.
for all of us, because we didn't know the capabilities, and then they came back with feedback saying, "Hey, yeah, you can make this more complicated. We have pretty much any fabric that you can come up with. We have the ability to replicate it." So that offers a lot more freedom. And I should state that this is just the initial creation. We are going to be working on a revised version now that we know those pieces of information. So
I do like the end result of this one.
yeah, I think it looks nice.
I think there's more that I could have done that would have been a lot cooler had I known that it didn't have to be so simple.
Yeah.
So Dave Proctor is the project manager on this, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so as far as like for the both of you, as far as like seeing the contributions that you're making to the line and making sure that the factory can actually replicate that, are you talking directly with him, or are you going through Rob for all that stuff?
Yeah, we have a big group communication, so we're able to talk directly.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Ryan, did we have any other photos of that Jaeger?
I got to all of them.
Okay, you got.
But I did have a question for Sean. Sean, will these be wired, or does that prevent it from settling on the figure? That's from Renato.
It shouldn't prevent it from settling on the figure, but right now we're not sure exactly what we're gonna come up with for the final piece. Like I said, we have to go back and revisit this. We actually sent this Jaeger prototype back to Rob so that he had them for, I think it was PowerCon. So we do not have the figure here anymore to keep working, but we are going to be working on these very soon for version 2. So I'm not exactly sure yet whether it's going to be wired or not. And also, with that said, I should note that we will also be working the prototype soft goods for that Frazetta figure, the Warrior. So yeah, so those two things are upcoming. We do not have either one of those figures yet, so we can't start, but we're definitely eager to get those and get back to work.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that one's like, if you're going to get anything from that, at least in my opinion, if you're going to get anything, get that for sure. But okay, so before we get off the top, we're about at an hour right now. So before we get off the topic of Savage Crucible, Sean, is there anything else besides the Frazetta Warrior that's coming up that you may want to talk about from that line?
Those are the two main ones right now. Obviously, there's tons of stuff planned for the future, but right now those are the two main contributions that we have. The Frazetta Warrior is going to be interesting too, because if you look at the painting itself, there's no real logic to how that cape is on him, because he's just like this naked dude. So we're going to have to figure out a way to make this cape work to where it still looks authentic to the painting, but it would be logical for him to wear the soft goods. So it's going to be interesting.
I actually had a pretty long conversation with Rob about 2 weeks ago, talking about some things, and really the difficulties that get presented with the females coming up as far as like Frazetta's work is concerned, right? Like how that's going to get pulled off. So it's going to be interesting to see. So what's the campaign at right now, Ryan? Was it 368,000, something like that?
It's 386. Yeah.
386.
That means we just unlocked the stretch goal. There was a stretch goal we were trying to hit today for an alternate head for. There is a Kickstarter and convention exclusive reptilian character that Eric Miller painted, and so we just got an extra head included with that figure. That's awesome. Eric
Miller is another guy that I need to reach out to. We had a good time at Toylanta. That big dinner at the end. We went on Eric wasn't there, but me and a couple other people, we went on an intoxicated toy hunt over at Last Chance.
Second Chance?
Second Chance, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, we slammed a couple too many at that Mexican restaurant, and then went over there, and I bought some really stupid stuff, right? Some really dumb stuff, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, here it is. The alternate head that was unlocked.
Sweet. And I did see a comment earlier question asking if the Slate and Savage figure character jaws are articulated, and the answer is yes.
Oh wow. Okay, that's awesome.
Nice.
So we're at 386,000 right now with 17 days left in the campaign. I have a feeling that within the last 48 hours, the FOMO was really going to hit people who have been on the fence. I think this is going to go past 450, to be honest with you.
The last day is going to be huge.
Yeah, that's my prediction, is that it's going to go into like probably, I would say minimum 450. But we'll see. That's what's exciting about these Kickstarter campaigns, is getting invested in it, well, financially, and watching these things happen. It's really interesting. So okay, we're gonna pivot real quick. Like I said, we're over an hour now. We got a couple more things to get through. Sean, your contributions to indie toy lines don't just start and stop with Savage Crucible. You're doing some stuff for Animal Wars of the Kingdom.
Yes, we are. So we've been talking with Jason for actually since Toylanta. And so we've got 2 characters that we'll be doing prototype soft goods for. And he said it was totally fine to share that with you guys. And that will be, I'm looking here because I have no idea how to say the second name, but the first one is Raving, the Raven character.
Yep.
And then the other one is Laranja.
The
Actually
Laranja?
asked Laranja. Yeah. Okay. So the sad thing is, like, I asked him how to pronounce this and he sent me a voice message and I still can't get it. So,
but you can't hear the voice. You can only hear the voice message once, right?
Jason will do that. I'll ask him a very, very complicated question, like a question that's like a paragraph long, and then I'll just get a 3-second clip as response, and it's like, yes. It's like, oh, okay, thanks.
Also, like Jason's tech level is like, for his phone, it's probably like a can and a string still at this point.
Jason is still using AOL discs, right? When he comes on live streams. He's having to wait till after 8 o'clock to send free text messages and everything. That's where he's at technology wise. I'm sure he's watching this. I may have just got fired, but anyway.
Yeah. I believe that I don't know how to say it. Laranja is an orangutan, and so that would be more like a robe type. So it'll be for the Raving, it'll be a poncho, and then for Laranja, it'll be a robe. And also on top of that, we will be creating soft goods for AWOC figures from Strupp Family Crafts that aren't prototypes that we plan to make here in the near future.
Cool. Awesome. Ryan, you want to pull up that one with the leopard cloth on there? Or the well, not that, we can get to that one too. But what's the other one I sent you?
Don't got it. I got the
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay, it's fine. It's whatever. A lot of people saw it at LegionsCon, but yeah, the other picture right there. If you want to go back to that one, you can see the clear body in the distance right there.
Let's see here. There.
Yeah. So, Nikki, I had a very similar situation to what you were talking about. Sometimes people DM me as I'm working on a product for the line, and I think I talk about the line enough to where I'm pretty much like a brand ambassador, but I do not own the line, right? It's Jason Bienvenu with Spiro Toys, but I get a lot of DMs with people that thinking that way, which is it's fine. It's but some people saw this picture right here. Now, I don't know how much you know about the first iteration of Animal Wars of the Kingdom in the original lore, but Pale had the ability to turn invisible, right, in the original lore and stuff. So some people had seen this image before and then started hitting me up. They're like, oh, when's the throwback Pale coming? When's the throwback? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. But for anybody who has seen this image and was wondering about it, I did talk to Jason about it. Your voices have been heard. So we'll see what happens. There'll be a cool thing to have. So, but yeah, so we talked about Laranja, we talked about Raving. We got one more thing to talk about from Animal Wars of the Kingdom that I just got cleared to talk about like 5 minutes before this stream. Ryan, if you want to pull up that last image I sent, and I know that I sent this one.
You
right?
did.
Yep. So armor packs are in the works, right? Modular armor packs that are meant to be used for those primal ancient figures that didn't come with a whole lot of accessories. They just essentially had a loincloth. So you can combine these armor packs that are coming with the weapon packs that the ones that are in existence right now and the ones that are coming further on down the line to customize and create your own Animal Wars of the Kingdom characters.
Perfect. That's what I'm looking for, because I do plan on customizing these as well. So.
Right. Yeah. And look, modularity is key. Right. Modularity is key in these new lines, because everybody likes to do the pop and swaps, and it's a ton of fun. So when we actually have, AWOC brand stuff, to do that with, I think it's really exciting.
Definitely. And can I show one thing AWOC related really quick?
Yeah.
No, not on this channel. No, ma'am.
Absolutely not.
Ryan, get her out of here.
So these two head sculpts were sculpted by Arlen Pelletier. And this was part of a contest that my Action Figure Customs ran a year ago that I happened to win. So I have a couple head sculpts that I can get a head start on customizing, but I did want to mention that myactionfigurecustoms.com is planning on making some custom parts for AWOC as well. So that'll add to the whole mix of what's possible for that line.
We seem to get a lot of winners on this live stream. I'm starting to think that these contests aren't so random, Ryan. What are your thoughts on this?
I haven't won anything.
But I mean, being a friend of mine is the ultimate prize. So yes, you have.
It's cute. You think we're friends. I like
that. Well, okay. So that's all I got. Ryan, you got anything else?
That's it. Just we can do plugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Tell us where to find you on social media.
Nikki,
you've got like 15,000 followers on Instagram anyway. So
you can find me at Nikki Nicole _customs, all K's in Nikki and Nicole. On Instagram, that's my main gig on Instagram, and then I do have a Facebook page as well, but I'm much more active on Instagram.
Yeah, and you can find our 1,800 follower Instagram at Strupp Family Crafts, and then on our Facebook. So it's strupp.family.crafts and for Instagram, and then it's just Strupp Family Crafts on Facebook.
Awesome.
And links to both of your Instagrams are in the description below. And I also dropped the link to the Savage Crucible Kickstarter in the live chat there. So if you guys haven't backed it,
there we go.
You might want to. Looks like a pretty cool line to me.
Yeah.
Let's see if
for anybody that's curious, you can find Ryan in the dumpster behind Arby's.
Yeah.
That's typically where you can find him.
I'm looking for the Arby's sauce that they threw out.
You get that horsey sauce.
Yeah, that's good. I like it aged. You're an idiot. That's all I got. Hey, listen, this Saturday on this channel, part of the 3POA podcast, we're having Rob Post from Savage Crucible. So myself, Bobby, and Tony are going to sit down with him, talk about the line, and hopefully get it to the next stretch goal.
Excellent.
Yep, that'd be great.
Well, thanks so much for having us on. This is one of the shows that I faithfully watch, so it is a bit surreal to be on the show. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
All right,
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming. And like I said, come back Saturday. If you're new to the channel, if Nikki and Sean brought you to the channel, please subscribe. Don't miss the show with Rob this Saturday. It's 5 o'clock Pacific, which is 8 p.m. Eastern time. So hopefully we'll see you then, and later.
See ya.